Yes, I have a shirt that says, "Hello, my people." Go to the website, the1910.com, and check it out. Thanks. You can't tell by the tone of my voice, but I am so happy that you are back for another story today. You might be looking at me saying to me, but talking actually to yourself because I'm not with you right now. Matt, why? Why are we whispering? Rest assured, I will tell you right now. We are whispering because today we are talking about things of a scary nature. Things that are scary in nature you talk about in hushed tones because they can be startling. Did I get you? Yes, today we are talking about the art of scaring. I have talked a couple of times about different scaring instances, times when I've been scared, times when I've done the scaring, different scary things that have happened to me. But as I started thinking about more times that I've been scared, I realized that I am like the perfect one to scare. I think this is why people do it. I leap, yell, scream, terrified. It's exaggerated, but not on purpose. I can't control it. It just happens. Somebody could be standing right there, right now, and if I couldn't see right in the little view, I would be checking right and left. You know, because things will startle me a little bit, and then I startle. The art of scaring someone is intricate in nature. I would contest that when you're watching like a scary movie and you're already on edge and you're sitting there and you're waiting and the thing jumps out, yes, it will frighten you. Now, I don't watch scary movies because they're terrifying, and who wouldn't want to do that? But, you know, I've seen things in movies that will jump out, and if you're waiting for it, you're anticipating something. And so, yes, it startles you, but it doesn't get you as much as like if you're just walking down the hall and then all of a sudden something jumps out and grabs you. All sorts of different things will scare people, and I realized I have not done a list type video about a story. So today I'm giving you the top 5 times that I have been scared in my life. Technically there's a 6th one, but you're gonna have to wait for another day because that one deserves its own story. We're not counting the stories that I've already told. Those ones obviously rank high enough because I gave them their own story. These ones I figured I could put all together as individual 60-second stories, but I thought, why not just put together a little list for you guys and give you 5 right now, right here, in this place, in this moment. Shall we go? Let's. Number 5, my father back in the day for some reason thought it was a good idea to make us, not allow us, make us watch Arachnophobia. Now first, let me just tell you that my brother and I are not card-carrying members of the fan club of arachnids. We do not enjoy them. They are scary, they are spooky. Yeah, I don't like them at all in any way, shape, or form. Naturally, we are sitting in the middle of a room so that we can see if any approach. My dad thinks this is hilarious. We're in one of the tense moments of the movie. My brother and I are huddled together, very close, very tight, very scared, very frightened, and my father drops to his knees as well as slamming his hands on the ground and yelling right at the moment where you think something was going to happen. It was as though a brachiosaurus had leaped up to grab the leaves off that top part of the tree and then just fell down and crashed and just like gave a roar of victory when he landed. Just from our sitting positions, we leapt as high as he jumped up to get those leaves from the fear and the shock and the surprise that just occurred. I didn't even know the muscles in the gluteus maximus were capable of lifting people off the ground, let alone setting them into low orbit. So that wound up being a nice little tidbit of knowledge I gained that day. Now I know what you're saying. Matt, you just said when you're watching a scary movie and something jumps out that it's not scary. No, I said it's not as scary, thus the reason this is at number 5. It's still terrifying. Number 4 happened at work recently. The people there enjoy scaring me because, as I said before, I jump, I yell, I scream. So I started carrying around a scalding hot cup of water everywhere I go. Game on, boys. On this night, however, I was working and it was rather slow. Nothing was really going on. A person walked in and unbeknownst to me, another person crawled in behind him and hid behind the desk. I'm sitting there talking to the 2 individuals in the room. As we are conversing, all of a sudden, this guy starts bear crawling at mama bear speed when you come too close to her cubs. You know, like, I didn't even know humans could move that fast in that position. I almost fell out of my chair. Needless to say, everyone in that room thought that was hilarious and the best thing they'd ever seen. And meh. I will not do this for every one of these, but this one merits the telling right now. I got that bear crawling psychopath back by waiting. I waited for the opportune moment. I have the patience of a jaguar stalking a mongoose. Patience. One day when I was leaving work, I noticed that his van was left unlocked. Knowing that he didn't leave for another hour, I crawled in the back and waited. This is where I learned I could never be a police officer and have to do stakeouts because it is boring to sit back there and wait. It is so boring and awful. Nevertheless, I waited. I positioned myself in the back, ready to crawl up the middle as soon as he started driving and placed my hand on his shoulder, possibly running us off the road, but it would have been worth it. The problem was he came to the passenger side, so I had to make do with what I had. I stared at him real hard right in his eyes, and as he realized that there was some human in his car, I yelled out, "Hello!" He urinated on the spot. Don't mess with the bull. Or you get the horns. That's the rest of that. That's the rest of that phrase. I thought that was implied. Number 3, I brought upon myself. I trained my children in the art of jumping out and scaring people. And I shouldn't have done this because the students have become masters. One day they decided to pull the tag team. My daughter said, Daddy, could you come up here and help me? Naturally, wanting to be a wonderful father, I said, "Sure, babe," and I ran up the stairs. I run up the stairs, and as I place my foot on the top stair, I recognize she's to my left. I turn left, yet something grabs me from the right. Terror shot through my entire system, and I leapt into the air 3 feet or 50, I'm not sure. But as I landed, I nearly broke my son's wrist because I almost landed on him. I fell down. They were laughing. They thought it was so funny, and I couldn't breathe. Have you ever walked upstairs and had something grab your ankle? You know not fear until something grabs your ankle. Number 2 is kind of hard for me to explain the actual level of terror that went into it. As I've mentioned before, I would go on mission trips to the Navajo Indian Reservation with my youth group, and on this particular one, we were staying in a big building with a concrete floor, and that was where we were sleeping. We were out in the middle of the desert, and like a bunch of idiots, we'd been talking about how scary it'd be like if we woke up and we were just out in the middle of the desert. No room, no nothing. But I'm laying on my stomach and I look over at my friend's face, who kind of is looking, and then all of a sudden all the color drains from his face and he goes white as a sheet. A white sheet. I mean, you might have like green sheets, not that white. White sheet. I follow his gaze and lock on to the object that is terrifying him because it also terrifies me. Turns out there's a man standing in the window watching us. There was no yelling, no words, no expression, no running, no nothing, just complete and utter terror at realizing that someone's standing in the window watching you. It turned out to be one of the leaders coming over to tell us to shut up, but that did not help the fact that all of us had pooped our pants at the same instant as soon as we saw a man standing in our window. The number 1 spot goes to my brother, and I hate that it does. We scared each other all the time, but this one stands out among everything. It always is the first one that comes to my mind when I think about being truly, absolutely terrified. I was in the shower. My brother sneaks in my room and somehow arranges himself under my comforter so that I will not know that he is in my bed. You see where this is going. I go in my room and always, because he scared me, I always would turn on the light and look around my room to see and make sure nothing was in there. For whatever stupid reason, this one time, I didn't do it. I walk in, I close my door, I walk to my bed, I lay down. All of a sudden, my comforter wraps around me like an anaconda finding its favorite kind of bull and not letting go. I have no idea what's happening. I don't know which way's up. I just know that something has grabbed me. The only way out is to fight my way out. So I start swinging and I start punching, and all of a sudden I start hearing my brother laughing. Once I realized it was my brother, I punched harder. I just kept punching and going. My mom comes in wanting to know what's going on and sees me swinging in terror, and my mom just laughed. Thought it was hilarious. I'm sure that it was hysterical. I didn't think so. Guys, thanks for checking out this story, though I guess this one's kind of 5 mini stories. But thank you for checking it out nonetheless. Please subscribe if you have not done so already. There's a new story every single week. Leave me a comment and tell me the story of the time you were most scared ever. But don't make it too scary. I don't want to be scared. I love you guys. You're amazing. Go over to the1910.com. That's the1910.com. Some people have told me I can't find you at 1910.com. Well, that's because I'm not just 1910.com. I'm definitive. The1910.com. Check out the swag, the merch, if you will, or the wares for wearing, as the button says. Have a week that is fantastic on all the levels that is fantasism. And as always, keep telling stories.